But the day after the fight, right after the day after, I woke up and told my wife, "Why did I do that?" I don't know. I just don't know what the hell goes on.
Is it true that you made $170 million from this fight? I made a lot of money, the most money I've made ever.
I give him a chance, and that's all one needs is just a chance.
The boxing world just got turned upside down, and what's happening now is bigger than anyone saw coming. Mike Tyson and Anthony Joshua dropped bombshells about Jake Paul and some serious money behind the scenes that has everyone talking. What's coming to light is messier than people thought, and it's about to change everything about how we see this sport.
He's called out Anthony Joshua. Just makes the whole sport look ridiculous. Gets them more attention.
That night, everything changed when a private gym video of Mike Tyson surfaced and his words cut deeper than any haymaker he ever landed. This game used to have honor. Now everything's got a price tag. He wasn't performing for cameras. He was speaking from the gut. Anyone who witnessed it knew something major was about to explode.
Oh no, I don't remember the fight that much. I kind of blanked out a little.
Sir, did you watch it back or anything, or no?
I haven't watched the fight. No, I have not. Coming back from the first round, and then the next day I remember Jake doing some kind of, I don't know, what was he doing at the ring?
The response was immediate. Suddenly, fans were voicing the question that had been lurking in everyone's mind. What if the bouts they shelled out money for weren't as authentic as they seemed? What if underneath all the hype and promotion there were handshake deals, cash flows, and predetermined endings decided way before anyone stepped in the ring? Just thinking about it rocked the entire community.
An amateur coming into the game with no experience, he's taken on some good names. They may be old, they may be from different combats in terms of MMA and so on, but he's got in the ring at a decent level, fought Tommy Fury.
Within a day, things got twice as intense. Anthony Joshua stepped forward during practice, and his words echoed Tyson's frustration, almost word for word. Fighters are getting checks to act out scripts. That statement rippled through boxing circles like wildfire. Now you had two legends of the game calling out the same corruption. Why did you just call me again? I didn't call you anything. Why did you call me? Mike.
I don't know. Listen, I wouldn't have realized any of it if it went 3-minute rounds. I didn't realize it.
Tyson isn't some washed-up former champion. He's the living embodiment of old-school boxing, real gym wars, shattered bones, and an era when fighting was about heart, not hashtags. Joshua, meanwhile, earned his reputation through dedication, major endorsements, and keeping his image spotless. When someone that calculated decides to break ranks, it signals the whole thing has already spiraled beyond repair. Joshua didn't drop specific names. He didn't have to. The warning was crystal clear. The game had transformed. What once rewarded the best fighter had morphed into rewarding the best performer. And that brings us to the modern boxing machine.
I'm really not trying to be tough or something. It didn't feel.
You trying to be a tough guy or something?
I didn't even feel a single thing.
How?
Not even oh my God, that hurt. My skin, the impact.
Jake Paul's meteoric rise has left traditional fans scratching their heads. A content creator who became a headliner in record time. His matches draw millions of eyeballs, pack venues, and crush pay-per-view records. Industry reports show some of his cards hit massive buy rates. Those numbers eclipse plenty of actual championship bouts.
I wish he would have, put up a better fight so then I could have risen more and done more. And he was surviving.
He was.
So
annoying.
That was the only thing I didn't like.
So annoying when they don't bring the fight to you.
Yeah.
So what's the secret? Promoters behind closed doors paint a picture of social media-driven spectacle. Engagement trumps talent. The narrative overshadows the scorecards. Heroes and villains get cast before training even starts, and everything else revolves around keeping viewers glued to their screens. In this updated playbook, collaboration beats confrontation. Athletes aren't just competitors anymore. They're playing characters. The meme moment carries more weight than the knockout punch. Traditional boxing principles didn't vanish overnight. They got slowly overtaken by internet culture.
Yeah, there are, but it's all about on the night. The levels that I carried last year and the year before and the year after that will not win me this fight. What will win me this fight is performing on the night, and I have to respect my opponent.
Now we get to the most troubling accusations. Sources mention what they're calling performance payments. Not prize money for victories, but guaranteed cash just for participating and sticking to the script. Deals that reward the drama instead of the outcome. Contracts focused on generating buzz rather than determining champions. There's also whispers about gag orders and intimidation tactics to keep quiet. Fighters supposedly get warned to stay silent about what goes on backstage, speak up, and opportunities dry up. Careers get derailed, dreams get crushed, so most pick survival over speaking truth.
I've never gone in there and knocked someone out within 10 seconds. There's a methodical process to knocking someone out. But if the opportunity presents itself, I'm not planning on carrying Jake for 1 second more than I have to.
Here's the crucial detail. These allegations aren't about rigged results, they're about manufactured storylines, dictating how fights get marketed, how opponents interact, how drama builds, who gets painted as good versus evil. That's what made Tyson and Joshua's next steps so earth-shattering.
I want to fight Anthony Joshua exclusive because I know that I will beat Anthony Joshua.
They arranged a private meeting at a Vegas training facility. No media, no handlers, no publicity, just two warriors who earned everything the legitimate way. Sources close to the meeting described the conversation as explosive. They discussed honor, manipulation, and where the sport was heading. When they emerged, the energy had shifted completely. Joshua was direct. "I'm finished acting like this is acceptable." Tyson's response hit even harder. "People paying money deserve to know what's authentic." Those statements said everything. This wasn't about paychecks. This was about principles.
And they love you over
I could
there.
go pick up like a big bag of rupees just for beating his.
The timing couldn't have been more damaging for Jake Paul's operation. Usually he fires back at controversy within minutes. This time, complete radio silence. No social media posts. No podcast appearances. No live stream rants. Nothing but dead air. In boxing, silence always means something. At the same time, fighters across every division quietly rallied behind them. Subtle endorsements, strategic reposts, coded messages. Nobody was spelling it out completely. But the message was universally understood.
Bro, he got hit with a bomb.
Right-hand bomb when the sport faces its biggest crossroads ever. Old school versus new media, authenticity versus algorithms, technique versus theatrics, tradition versus trending. Tyson and Joshua never wanted to lead this revolution, but a corrupted system forced their hand. If these accusations gain traction, the consequences will be devastating. Fan loyalty crumbles. Corporate partners flee. Fighters question everything. Governing bodies face pressure. The manufactured entertainment model can't withstand genuine investigation. This transcends Jake Paul now. It's about whether boxing stays a legitimate sport or transforms into scripted content. The reckoning has begun, and when legends stop playing along, secrets don't stay buried long.
It's not a casual, relaxed fight where you can kind of move around and get your groove and he's going to stay on the outside and you're going to... No, it's just constant. He survived that guy twice. He survived, in my opinion, the most skillful heavyweight of all time. Twice. And you're going to go boxing? And the toughest guy you fought before was 40 years old Anderson Silva? Those the toughest guys so far you fought?
What made everything even more bizarre was the aftermath. Actually, what didn't happen was more telling. Jake Paul typically moves faster than breaking news when controversy hits. He can detect drama before it even trends. Yet this time, there was absolutely nothing. No Twitter meltdowns, no response videos, no damage control content, complete silence, and not regular silence either. This was the uncomfortable kind of quiet that makes everyone nervous. The type where people keep refreshing pages because something should be dropping, but isn't. When someone who thrives on chaos suddenly goes mute, the absence becomes deafening. Boxing insiders picked up on it instantly. Analysts paused mid-broadcast, waiting for his comeback. Followers hammered refresh buttons like slot machine handles. Even competing fighters held their breath, expecting fireworks, but crickets. The void became the headline. Throughout the industry, that silence got decoded one way: crisis management. When you've got no safe moves, you make no moves. And that reaction revealed more than any statement could have.
Counter right. There's the right hand. Jake Paul goes down again. And he's tired. He needs to keep moving them feet like he was in the early rounds. But right uppercut. It's amazing.
While Jake's team stayed underground, something interesting began brewing across social platforms. Boxers from every division started backing Tyson and Joshua. Not dramatically, no big announcements, just subtle signals, strategic likes, meaningful shares, brief supportive comments, the boxing equivalent of silent solidarity. The message was unmistakable. Right then, the battle lines crystallized. The sport had officially divided into two camps.
Instead of processing feedback or acknowledging his flaws, the deluded person protects their ego by attacking the source of the criticism.
And you versus going to the gym, you're still a fat?
By labeling all the criticism he receives about his lackluster opponents as merely hate.
On one side stood the
old guard, warriors forged in legitimate training facilities, athletes who earned their stripes through sacrifice, dawn workouts, brutal sparring, mentors who demanded excellence, legacies built on determination, not download numbers. Opposing them stood the digital revolution, influencer spectacle and manufactured hype, agreements structured around engagement metrics, press events, staged like entertainment shows, competitions marketed like blockbuster movies.
And that's just going to make him more dangerous. He's going to be terrifying, and he's going to have a lot to prove. He's going to be very angry that Jake Paul wants to fight him. Very upset that this YouTuber who's fought Tommy Fury, who's a legit boxer, and, a couple other guys that were legit boxers. That's it.
This goes way beyond different approaches. It's about conflicting philosophies, authenticity versus algorithms, talent versus theatrics, honor versus hype. One camp treats boxing like sacred ground. The other treats boxing like social content. The terrifying reality is both approaches generate massive revenue, serious money. That's what makes this crossroads so critical. When profit meets principles, something has to give. And right now, what might break is boxing's very soul. If even a fraction of these insider claims check out, the damage will be catastrophic. Trust will evaporate. Once that's gone, rebuilding takes forever. Audiences stop believing results. They stop caring about championships. They stop buying tickets. Corporate sponsors will demand answers. Existing deals will face scrutiny. Future contracts will need revision. No brand wants association with something that feels artificial. Businesses aren't afraid of financial losses. They're terrified of reputation damage.
Oh, no, I don't remember the fight that much. I kind of blanked out a little. Listen, know what I remember? Coming back from the first round, and then the next day I remember Jacob doing some kind of, I don't know, what was he doing at the ring?
All because two champions decided to stop pretending. That's why everyone keeps emphasizing this extends far beyond Jake Paul now. He's just representing something bigger. The real question is boxing's identity. Is it athletic competition or digital entertainment? Does it reward skill or storylines? Do champions earn titles through ability or algorithms?
In the sense that the job we do, knockouts is like the cherry on top. I understand that.
Tyson and Joshua never wanted this burden. They didn't volunteer to defend boxing's honor, but sometimes history picks its own heroes. Currently, the sport stands at a crossroads. One path leads to complete commercialization. The other leads back to boxing's authentic foundation. The choices being made right now will influence generations, and that uncertainty has everyone on edge. Because when legends abandon the establishment, when silence breaks and truth emerges, what comes next is always chaos. This storm isn't finished. It's building momentum. More witnesses will surface, more secrets will leak, more contracts will face questions, more lives will transform. This was never just an investigation. This was a revolution.